it up for Paul Schaefer.
I want to thank all of you, my Canadian music brothers and sisters, for inviting me to host these live music industry awards. And I'm always grateful to be back in the musical womb that gave birth to the rock god that you see before you this afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm sarcastic, of course, but thank you for that sympathy applause. You know, this is the country where I first felt alive on a stage, and I place the emphasis this afternoon on the word live. People always ask me, Paul, where do you get your fabulous wardrobe? And of course I say, it's none of their business. And so then they just want to keep the conversation going, and they say, what are the favorite places that you have played? 30 Rock, the Ed Sullivan Theater, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I tell them that where it is doesn't matter. Any stage can be your stage. Back in the 60s, when my band played in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, at the Uptown Motor Hotel, yes, some people have been there, you could just feel the electricity in the air. Of course, that was probably because the wiring was knob and tube and everything was soaked in beer, but still, it was an electrifying feeling. And also, though, I realized for the first time that music was a real connection between a performer and an audience. After all, you're breathing the same air, you're experiencing the same emotions, and in a live performance, what you send out is reflected right back at you. And once you feel that, well, you want to go on feeling that for the rest of your life. And I am happy to say that I am one of the blessed ones who has felt it and continue to do so. And I thank all of you for letting me continue to get away with it. I'm telling you, it really is a blessing. You know, there's been a lot of panic in recent years about the state of the music industry. You know, kids don't hold recorded music in their hands anymore. It all comes from the cloud, and too much of it is auto-tuned, and everybody thinks it should be free. But I'll tell you the one good thing that has come from the disruption of the business model that live performance is now. This is the thing. Live performance is now the only dependable thing that we do. And I think it's kind of cool. And, you know, its importance should never have been underestimated, and hopefully it never will be again. Because the live music industry is passionate, and it's dedicated to making that love match between artist and audience, and it is only right to celebrate the folks, and we're going to do that tonight. We're going to celebrate some of the folks behind the stage. I want to thank Music Canada Live and Canadian Music Week for giving me the opportunity to share in this celebration, because this show is all about keeping live alive. You know, mix together the fresh air and great music, and you have one of the coolest parts of live music, the music festivals. So let's take a look at some of the winners.
In the category Small Festival of the Year, 6,000 and under capacity, the winner is Rifflandia, Victoria. In the category Medium Festival of the Year, 6,001 to 15,000 capacity, the winner is Turf, Toronto Urban Roots Fest. In the category Family Program of the Year, the winner is Field Trip Music and Arts Festival, Toronto. In the category Green Operations Festival of the Year, sponsored by Stageline, the winner is Osheaga Music and Arts Festival, Montreal.
And now, for our first award, Major Size Festival of the Year, sponsored by SiriusXM.
The nominees are Boots and Hearts, Oro Medante, Ontario, Faded in the Park, Surrey, BC, Pemberton Music Festival, Pemberton, BC, RBC Blues Fest, Ottawa, Way Home Music and Arts Festival, Oro Medante, Ontario.
To help hand out this award, I would like to invite up to the stage Mr. Jeff Leake, Director of Music Programming, SiriusXM Canada, Inc., to the stage. Jeff Leake, come on out here. Hi, Jeff. Welcome.
My good friend, Paul Schaefer, everybody.
Thank you. We are good friends. We met 2 seconds ago. I'm going to his bar mitzvah.
Always. The winner of Major Festival of the Year, sponsored by whatever. Way Home Music and Arts Festival. Congratulations.
Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. I think, in the other categories, there's a lot of amazing live music that happens in this country, and the more festivals that happen, the better everything becomes, I think, for all the other promoters. And, with Way Home, we're going into our 3rd year now, and we've got an amazing team with Republic Live and Force, and, we've we've actually got huge plans in store for this year. The lineup, it's funny how people critique certain lineups for festivals, but festivals are all about discovery and learning about new live artists. And we're going to carry on expanding Way Home at Burles Creek and fulfilling, the dream and the idea that was first laid out a couple years ago. So thank you.
Now on to our next category, which is Not-for-Profit Festival of the Year. Now I can hear you people around the room. You're saying it. What did he say? Not-for-profit. Get that socialist off the stage. And other people are saying not-for-profit. Yeah, Occupy. I don't think any of us got into this for the money, right? We didn't. We got into it for the love of it and because we love music. So as practitioners of the arts, we are obliged to address the needs of society in our work and in our actions. So these events that I'm talking about, they uphold the best of what we hope to accomplish.
Not-for-Profit Festival of the Year. The nominees are Calgary Folk Festival, Calgary. Manifesto, Toronto. Northern Lights Festival Boreal, Sudbury. RBC Blues Fest, Ottawa. Up and Downtown Music Festival, Edmonton.
And the winner, Not-for-Profit Festival of the Year, Emma Stone in La La Land. Wait a minute, this is not... Wait a minute. No, it's RBC Blues Fest, Ottawa, Ontario.
As you may or may not know, most festivals in Canada are not-for-profit.
Well, you didn't start out that way, though.
But I just want to actually recognize the team that's here with me today. Our programming team's in the back, so especially Kat, Kelly, Lindsay, and Emma, thanks for doing all the hard work behind the scenes and making us look great. So thanks very much.
Our next category is Best Teamwork in an Arena. For years, the only thing you could assume about best teamwork in an arena was that the Toronto Maple Leafs were not going to win it. But it turns out this year everything is a lot different. So, you never know how things can turn around, right? Go Leafs. Anyway, this is an award for some real team players as well. These are the guys and gals behind the stupendous challenge of showtime in a giant building. They play their position from the moment you walk into the arena, from box office to beer sales, from sound to sightlines. If they're not happy unless you're happy. So let's look at the nominees.
Bell Centre, Montreal. Budweiser Gardens, London. First Ontario Centre, Hamilton. Rexall Place, Edmonton. Rogers K-Rock Arena, Kingston, Ontario.
So the winner is, ladies and gentlemen, Bell Centre, Montreal, Quebec. Here comes the winner right here.
Thank you very much. We represent the Bell Centre. It's nice to get this award. People in the Bell Centre work incredibly hard. I think we had 24 events in the month of March, and the team that puts all those things together is really, 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 really hardworking and takes every show very seriously. So we appreciate this award. Thank you very much.
Our next category is Best Teamwork in a Major Club, by which we mean 1,000 capacity or higher in a nightclub. As I mentioned earlier, played many clubs in my day. It's a smaller playing field than an arena, but you end up playing an honest, more intimate show, nose to nose with the audience. Still, though, you depend on the team running the joint to make the night memorable. So, these being some of the coolest places to play in Canada, veritable launching pads to greatness, and this category honors the cats and chicks that make them cool. Here are the nominees for Best Teamwork in a Major Club.
Danforth Music Hall, Toronto. London Music Hall, London. Metropolis, Montreal. Phoenix Concert Theatre, Toronto. Rebel, Toronto.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is the Danforth Music Hall, Toronto, Ontario.
Thank you very much. It's been 6 years since we opened, and we've been getting busier and busier. It's teamwork all the way from people at the front door all the way to the owners, and thank you very much. And they, of course. So thank you, everybody, for the support.
Canada is known for its great sports teams and also for its great music teams. So let's look at some of those who have excelled in the past year.
In the category Best Teamwork in a Soft Seat Theater Performing Arts Center, the winner is Sony Center for the Performing Arts, Toronto. In the category Best Teamwork in a Medium Club 300 to 999 capacity, the winner is Horseshoe Tavern, Toronto. In the category Best Teamwork in a Small Club, less than 300 capacity, the winner is Carlton Music Bar and Grill, Halifax.
Our next category, ladies and gentlemen, is Audio-Visual Production Company of the Year. Now, you know, if you think about it, audio and visual, well, that pretty much covers the entire concert experience. We don't have a category for smell yet, but I'm sure that's coming up. So far, though, audio-visual are the people who can crank the concert to 11, mirror it on giant video screens so the people in the cheap seats can see it, and live stream it to a huge virtual audience. They are the tech wizards responsible for dragging the live music experience into the 21st century. So let's check out the nominees.
FMAV, Metalworks Production Group, Solotech, VER, Westbury National.
And the winner is FMAV.
Thank you, folks. We're new to this industry, and we hope that you see a lot more of us. Thank you very much.
Now to our next category. It's being presented by SOCAN, the folks who collected cash from David Letterman every time my band threw down a little BTO or Steppenwolf. They got paid. So with that, I would like to invite SOCAN's Vice President of Licensing, Jennifer Brown, to present the organization's own Licensed to Play Award. Jennifer, come on stage. All right.
It is my pleasure to present the SOCAN License to Play Award. This is designed to acknowledge and to say thanks to an organization that has faithfully and diligently recognized that paying a fair and legal music license allows music creators and publishers to be rightfully paid. The License to Play Music Award represents the mutual respect that music creators and businesses have for each other, and that allows all of them to continue to grow. More than 135,000 businesses across Canada are doing their part by being licensed to play with SOCAN. And this year's winner is a thriving cultural landmark and an important hub that brings art and live music to the local community. Since the Drake Hotel reopened their doors in 2004, they've proudly and repeatedly stood for fair music licensing. The Drake Underground is an intimate venue that allows the audience to be immersed in the show and connect with performers. I'm sure everyone in this room has discovered a new favorite artist because of a show at the Drake. The Drake clearly understands the importance that live music plays in Toronto, its entertainment and cultural scene, and the License to Play Award is a big thank you from SOCAN and our nearly 150,000 songwriter, composer, and music publisher members. I am proud to present this year's License to Play Award to the iconic Drake Hotel in Toronto. On behalf of all of our members and our more than 300 employees across North America, SOCAN thanks you for making sure that the people behind the songs are compensated fairly for their extraordinary talent and hard work. So congratulations to the Drake Hotel.
I just want to thank SOCAN for this great award. I've worked on both sides of the label and venue, and I know how important you guys are to our industry here in Canada, artists and venue-wise, so thank you.
Well, our next category, Agent of the Year. Now, agent is variously defined in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as someone who engages in undercover activities, someone who is authorized to represent another, and someone who effects change and exerts power. Clearly, these are dark and mysterious people not to be messed with. But then again, some of them are pussycats. The agent category, however, at the Live Music Awards is a power list indeed. This award is being sponsored by Live Nation. Let's check out the nominees.
Adam Countryman, United Talent Agency. Jeff Crave, Feldman Agency. Julianne Paquin, Paquin Entertainment Agency. Kay White, Trick or Treat. Ralph James, United Talent Agency.
The winner of this award, Julianne Paquin, Paquin Entertainment Agency, Agent of the Year.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank my team, the agents and everyone at Paquin Entertainment in Winnipeg and Toronto. That's Todd, Buttles, Grant, Jeremy, Aaron, Eli, Michelle, Kelsey, and Rebecca. A better group of people you will not find. I'd like to thank Megan very specifically, whom I share this whole ride with. She steers the ship and pours her heart, soul, and brains into this team and the artists we represent. Thank you, Megan. To our fearless leader, Gilles Paquin. No idea too big or small. If he senses passion, he will fuel the fire. This entire company stands on his shoulders. I would be remiss to not highlight some of the talented managers we work with. Sandy and Michael, Joanne, Shauna and Helen, Joel and Lisa, Ron Kitchener, Jude and Susan, Parkside, Tim and Mark and Louis Thomas. There are so many to list that that have had an impact on the work we do. Canada is well represented with many of these managers at the helm. To the nominees in this category, I love the competition, but I've had a lot of laughs with these folks as well. Let's keep it up. And finally, a tip of the hat to last year's winner, Rob Ziffarelli. He and I made the move from Winnipeg together in 1999. We had no idea if we would make an impact. I think we have, and we have a lot more work to do. Thanks as well to CMW and Music Canada Live.
You know, there are many parts that make the live music industry sing. A collection of varied talents. So that's who makes it. That's who makes this thing sing. A collection of varied talents. And let's see who some of these cool cats are.
In the category, Concert Club Talent Buyer of the Year, the winner is Mark Russell, Live Nation, Toronto. In the category, New Touring Artist of the Year, sponsored by Slate Music, the winner is July Talk. In the category, Production Manager of the Year, Festival Concert, sponsored by Access Event Solutions, the winner is Larry Fitzpatrick, Live Nation. In the category, Road Warrior of the Year, Tour Manager, the winner is Dave Gardner, the Arkells and more.
Our next award is Manager of the Year. You know, next to drummers and bass players, managers, probably the most underappreciated people, the people that we cannot do without. Because all they do is everything, every little detail, every unexpected problem, everything that might distract the talent from their focus. And all they ask is a simple percentage, and usually it's very reasonable. Anyway, right here we have some of the greatest professional musical caretakers in the country. Here, sponsored by the Air Canada Centre, are the nominees for Manager of the Year.
Alex Bonifant, July Talk. Bernie Breen and Patrick Sambrook, The Tragically Hip. Chris Taylor, Last Gang. Joanne Setterington, The Strumbellas. Shauna DeCartier and Helen Britton, Six Shooter.
The winner is Bernie Breen and Patrick Sambrook.
Yeah, quick thanks, of course, to the Tragically Hip. You need a band to be a manager. To Jeff Crabe and to an amazing staff, Courtney Yuckman, Jen Pressey, what a year. And lastly, to just the music industry and our colleagues here. It's been a really, really tough year for us on a lot of levels. And we've received a lot of love and support from people, so I really appreciate that.
Managers have the coolest shoes. Did anybody notice that? I got to get 50% of that. And our next award, ladies and gentlemen, Festival Buyer of the Year. Now, the Festival Buyer, these people are the top shoppers, the bookers, who understand their audiences and what bands their audiences want to hear. They know which artists are in season, and they squeeze them to see if they're fresh. And then they have to balance their budget and maximize the entertainment value that the venue and the revenues can provide. So in the end, their shopping sprees speak for themselves in unforgettable, sold-out concert experiences. We are pleased to announce that this award is being sponsored by Ticket Guardian.
The nominees are Emmanuel Patterson, Live Nation, Toronto. Mark Monahan, RBC Blues Fest, Ottawa. Nick Farkas, Evenco, Montreal. Paula Perry, Force, Toronto. Shauna DesCartier, Six Shooter Records, Toronto.
Winner is Paula Perry.
Oh my! Thank you so much. I want to thank the team at Force. It's been a crazy year, but an amazing one, and all of our partners, Way Home, Boots and Hearts, North by, and Big Feastival. Oh my goodness. Most of all, I want to share this with Alex Patton, who works just as hard as I do on putting these things together. She's much cooler than me, so smart. I'm very lucky. Thank you guys. This is just amazing. I'm trying to think. Thanks, Paul Schaefer. Great glasses. Thank you. Thank you.
Now our next award. It's the Brand/Music Program of the Year, where art and commerce merge. See, ever since music became free on the internet, sponsors have stepped up their game, and they have become a lifeline for live music, and thank God for them. So the nominees in this category are the best kind of corporate citizen, the music-loving kind. All they ask of us is a little logo, well, maybe a big logo. That's all they want, and in return, musicians get paid, and the audience experiences real joy. So bravo, corporate citizens. And here are the nominees.
Bud Light, Digital Dreams, Toronto. Jim Beam, Make History. Molson Coors, Osheaga, Quebec. Red Bull Music Academy, Montreal. TD Jazz Festival.
The winner is TD Jazz Festival.
This is really exciting. We're honored to accept this award on behalf of TD, and really this award goes to our festivals for all their passion and hard work. So thanks very much.
This next award recognizes an artist for his or her exceptional contributions to the live music industry across Canada through live touring and concerts. Here to present the Legends of Live Award, it is my pleasure to invite Eric Hoffman, President of Live Nation, along with Riley O'Connor, Chairman, Live Nation Canada.
I would like to thank Bernie Breen and Patrick Sambrook for having Eric and me be presenters today. Eric and I just wanted to let you know it takes two people to encapsulate the enormity of the Tragically Hip story. From their beginnings in the 1980s, the Hip epitomized the ethic of hard work, honing and practicing their live performance from clubs to small concert halls. They set the stage for how to build and grow a career. Their focus, always guided by integrity, honesty, fairness, made all who work for them never want to see a tour come to an end. and that's the god-awful truth. In 1993, the Tragically Hip created and toured a national festival, another roadside attraction, groundbreaking by making it an artists' festival. From coast to coast, small towns to big cities, the Hip matched their prowess in #1 records by selling out national arena tours for over 2 decades. The Hip music touched everyone, no matter age or background. In continuing their first, the Tragically Hip were the first act to play at the Air Canada Centre in 1999 with 2 sellout performances. The Tragically Hip deserve a special acknowledgement to their contributions to charity. An outdoor concert across the causeway at Kingston's Royal Military College for Camp Trillium played to over 30,000 fans in 2004. The Hip, through their songs, articulated forgotten and unknown Canadian stories, and it endeared us to know and what it feels like to be Canadian. There is no doubt the Tragically Hip have earned their stature of Canada's band. Eric?
Nicely said, Riley. Thanks for having us here, everybody. It's a privilege to honor the Tragically Hip, Canada's most iconic band. The best part of today is that we're honoring their live career. Arguably, this is what makes them so special. The live show, that's where they grabbed us all. Whether it was a bar in Kingston or just a young kid that discovered them this past year, the Tragically Hip transcends generations. Last summer was a summer I can honestly say I'll never forget. Not just the August 20th for the final show that millions of fans took in, but also the days leading up to the tour. The first show in Victoria, the entire trek across Canada. This meant so much to so many people. To see the Billy Rays, the Tristan Chipmans, the Ricky Wellingtons, the entire Hip family back for this incredible final run is a testimony to how special this group is and how special they are to this entire room. And that's what this band is all about, family, and we're all members. The truck drivers, the riggers, the building cleaning staff, the caterers, the production crews, the opening acts, everyone. If you've ever been around this band, you felt like you were welcome. They set the high water mark on how to carry yourself as rock stars and how to embrace and support the community they came from. They treat their fans with the utmost respect, and they show our industry unbelievable humility. To me, this is why they're our greatest rock and roll treasure. It's our honor to present the Tragically Hip with the Legends of Live Award. Let's take a look at the video.
When you talk about different bands, very few of them step into a legendary status, and I feel that's definitely what the Hip are. They've always been a band that have put more pressure on themselves and the expectations they have for their performance than probably what the fans expect from them.
Musicianship, chemistry, and a frontman that no one has ever seen before prior to Gord Downie really doing his thing. So I think when you combine all those things together, you've got a recipe for longevity.
All preconceived notions all sort of just laid to waste ultimately, because through the sheer giddiness of spontaneous creation, it just makes you throw out the plans. I have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
They set the stage, they get in the pocket musically, and then he's the abstract, he's the unpredictable portion of it.
We shoot for that trance-like state, and you're listening to the other 4 guys on stage, and everything's coming together.
If you can sort of get lost in the music, as cliched as that sounds, but yeah, that's sort of the idea.
The Hip have an amazing power of communication with their audience. The Hip wrote about Bill Barilko and the CBC and the 100th Meridian and Algonquin Park and Bob Cajun. They were loud and proud and fiercely Canadian.
so much back from your audience if you dig in, and they know almost instinctively when the band is sort of reaching beyond themselves for something more.
The last tour was so emotional for so many people, and I know this band that people thought they would see for so many more years, you know, that it was kind of abruptly coming to a halt.
The tour for the band was the Man Machine Poem Tour. And I think the spirit of what became this tour came out of the support and these guys banding together as brothers.
No one's interested in something you didn't do.
Obviously with Gord's news, it was devastating, you know, for everybody. And the band, I think, did what they thought, as they said, all they could, which was, let's go do what we do, let's go play.
Yeah, what to say, really, it's been said, Eric. Really covered it all, as did Riley. We're honored to be here, obviously. I think we'd be remiss not to acknowledge the work of Jake Gold and Shelley Sturts and Sarah Osgood for a lot of years of keeping them on the road. That includes Wayne Forte, who's also was their agent for many years. I'd like to thank everyone at Live Nation and certainly Jeff Craven and everyone at Feldman, especially Jen and Courtney from The Office. We couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you, as the band would say. Without further ado, a little something from Robbie and Gord Sinclair.
I'd like to thank CMW for this honor. I would like to thank all of the fabulous crew we've had through the years, and the managers and agents who kept us rolling and kept lining their pockets.
I'd like to make a special shout out to Riley and all the musicians that we shared a stage with, and most especially the fans who kept coming after all these years. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, a category close to my own heart, the Canadian Music City of the Year. Now, I can attest that every one of the cities nominated here freaking rocks, okay? So let's get that off the table right away. And let's take a look now at the nominees.
Calgary, Ottawa, Quebec City, Toronto, Vancouver.
It's Quebec City, everybody. Music City of the Year.
Thanks, Mom and Dad. Okay, I'm Louis. Quebec City Festival d'été. So I don't know if you all know, but there's a pretty special festival down there. And a lot more is happening. Actually, something is happening with the music scene in Quebec. I moved there 6 years ago to become the programming guy for the festival. And since then, there's probably 30 musicians below 30 years old. And together, they probably have 30 bands. And most of them are interesting. Some of them are really, really good. There's people in the clubs every night. There's live music on Saint-Joseph Street every night, and the rooms are packed. And it's really exciting. And this is the only city where you will see The Who this year. So I suggest you book your July trip right now.
I want to thank all you people, representatives of Canadian music. It takes me back to when I was first getting started as a Canadian musician myself. I had graduated from the University of Toronto. I started playing in the bars on Yonge Street. And I don't know how many of you, I bet a lot of you started as rock musicians yourself, high school rock bands, but all I know is whenever I went to a music store and I needed a new amplifier, I wanted to get a Fender, you know, or a Marshall or a Vox, I always came out of there with a Trainer amp, right? Because there was just no comparison. They were so much cheaper. Anyway, I had a Trainer top and a bottom. I was playing the lovely Brass Rail Tavern at the top of Yonge Street, where they used to have, fine topless entertainment for your edification and live music. And I had a Trainer top and bottom. They didn't seem to match. I couldn't get any sound out of it. I called up Trainer. They said, come on down. And there's Peter Trainer. He says, what's the problem? This is the guy who invented Canadian amplifiers, Canadian sound reinforcement. I said, the top, I don't know, it doesn't. He tickled like it. He said, well, the impedance is wrong between this and this. And he fixed it up himself. Peter Traynor, the late great, I think he died just about a year ago, but I'm talking about a professional touch in the Canadian music industry that this guy showed me. And he said, what time do you have to go on at the brass rail? He you know, because he had played there himself. He used to be a bass player, 6 o'clock. So that's where 6 till 1. 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely dancers of the topless brass rail. Anyway, Peter Traynor sent me back to work happy, and I thank him posthumously, and I thank all of you because I know that the Canadian music industry is what it is because of the personal touch with which you guys treat the industry, and I thank you for that.